What is this, bro?
Bro, this is me on Malzahar. What do you think? What do you think?
Say I'm dangerous, cause I broke all the cages. No, I won't sit and take it. No, no. They left me for dead, I guess I'll never learn. Every time I break, there's just more pain to burn. They'll never, never, never learn. Till the battle's won, till kingdom come.
Have you ever wondered how to carry your game with control mages, with Malzahar, to transfer your gameplay to the next level and get masters? This video is for you. In less than an hour, I will teach you everything that I know, and you will definitely see the crazy results. Stay with me, you can trust me. Let me explain the whole process. First we're gonna start with the runes, then we're gonna do the items, after that we hop into the game. I will do full commentary of the early game, all factors included, and mid and late game, where you will get to know all the macro secrets. Let's go. Rune setup that you see on the screen, Aerie and the Scorch, you wanna take when opponents are heavy trading with you. So you can have an answer back to them and not fall that much behind. Let's say LeBlanc contesting you 24/7, some kind of Silas being insanely annoying, you can go for it. Basically take it when they are forcing you to trade and you need to have some kind of punch back against them, okay? Or when you're gonna, where you wanna soak the most out of the early game. Because Scorch and Aerie are really good for the early game setup. About the inspiration, I will explain fully right now. Magical footwear, take always, unless opponents are double AP, mid and the jungle. So when they are double magic damage sources, let's say Evelyn, Lissandra, you wanna have early boots and potentially get Mercury threats, which would be amazing since they're double AP. I wouldn't go magical footwear when opponent have a lot of skill shots like Azerath, Lux, because then I need my boots early to dodge it easier. Stopwatch, you will go against every assassin, always. Stopwatch, because you will often need to go Zonya second. Futures Market, always the greatest, the most broken rune to get your lost chapter sooner, but if there is champion that heavy trades with you, Victor, LeBlanc, go Biscuit, because you need Survey and they gonna be deciding when they force to trade, they trade with you. If you play against like a Veigar, you don't really need it because Veigar can't really trade with you that much, so you will stick to the Futures Market, right? Some people prefer Cosmic Insight over Futures Market or Biscuits or Magical Footwear. That's totally fine because you'll have your flash around 40 to 50 seconds sooner, which is amazing with your ultimate. But I personally prefer this kind of setup or this kind of setup depending on the matchup, okay? Another setup that you see on the screen is a full scaling setup. Comet with Gathering Storm. You wanna get Gathering Storm when opponents cannot threaten you on the lane and they prefer to scale. That's when you can scale along with them because your champion scales great to the late game and the mid game. So for example, you play against Aurelion Sol, you can go Gathering Storm. You play against Veigar, you can play Gathering Storm. Why you can do it is because the champion won't be looking that much for a fight with you and he will be preferring to scale along with you. You can go with the full early game mindset as well, but I personally go with Gathering Storm in those kind of matchups and with the Comet. The inspiration is the same rules as we explained a moment ago. One more point, Comet good against squishies, Aerie good against more bulky, tanky champions. Secondary resolve. You wanna take it when opponents have a heavy burst combos on the lane. So can be Zed, Kiana, Akali, Diana, champions that jump in and can one-shot you. We take bone plating to prevent their burst and first force them to proc it before they fully commit. That will improve your survey on the lane. I will go along with Aerie and Scorch for those matchups because they implement so much pressure on me early that I need to have an answer a little bit more. Yeah? So this is the setup. Overgrown for the health, bone plating for anti-burst, against champions, fully committing at you. That's it. Itemization is quite easy subject that I'm gonna explain as easier as possible. So Liandry's, you will take 99% of the time unless you are the only AP champion in your team and opponent are squishy. that's when you can go Laden Tempest for the burst. Even though your champion isn't like a bursty champion, but it can work when they are squishy and they don't have magic resist. Second item is most of the time Rylai to provide utility, to slow, to kite the opponents. It's insanely good. But if they have a lot of burst and go in at you, let's say Akali, Zed, Kiana, Kha'Zix, Rengar, you go Zhonya second, then you go Rylai third, okay? Boots, sorcery when you're the only AP champion and they are squishy because flat magic penetration increases your damage burst, but the more magic resist they have, the less worth of a sorcerer's shoes become. So then you would go Ionian Boots. Ionian Boots cooldown reduction is really good when opponents are more bulky, because then you get your spell rotations faster and you can provide more utility to your team and damage over seconds, along with the Liandry's, right? So it's like this. Liandry's, then you decide the Boots, then you go Rylai. After that, you decide dynamically. So second item is Rylai versus Zhonya. Third item depends. If opponent have a lot of magic resist, then you would go Void Staff. If opponent are just they have no threats at all, you just go Demonic into Void Staff. Okay? If they have no magic resist, then you go Demonic. If they do have magic resist, you go Void Staff, then you can go Demonic. When they have a lot of healing, I'm forced to add Oblivion Orb after my second item. But I don't finish it, okay? But really, to put it simply, Liandry's, Boots, then Rylai versus Zhonya, you decide dynamically, and then Void Staff versus Demonic, you decide dynamically, and then the last item, it's a full item, depending on the situation and what you need. It's really simple if you think about it, okay? And you need to consider getting Oblivion Orb when it's necessary, when they have a lot of healing, including Vladimir, Sylas, Kayn, Darkin Kayn, stuff like that. But don't rush it too early. If you get it after the Liandry's optimally, okay? Or after the Rylai or Zhonya. That's it. Mercury's against double AP damage sources when they have a lot of burst. About starting items. Doran Ring, when opponent can burst you early. Let's say some champions that can Kiana, Sylas, Zed, stuff like that. Doran Ring health, really good to keep you sustainable, right? 70 health. Sapphire Crystal against the champions that you can scale for free and they are not threatening to you. So you can rush the Lost Chapter, okay? So Sapphire Crystal to be greedy on the lane when there is not a big threat on the lane. Corrupting Potion against a fucking Victor, against a LeBlanc, champions that force you to trade to increase your sustain. That's it. Maxing order E first, then Q. Last one you max W. Level 1 E, level 2 W. W level 2 to trim the wave, to fin it against opponent, to prevent them from crashing at you. Remember Q is really mana hungry, so you don't want to spam it in the early game because that's when the problem starts. In this game, I'm playing against Aurelion Sol, the champion that scales along with me, so I'm playing full scaling setup that I explained at the beginning of the video. We have both TP, so we can recall to the lane whenever. We can recall and teleport to the lane whenever, which provides us with the comfort and consistency. In terms of the 2v2 between both junglers, it looks like it's quite even. If we think about it, both early game junglers are strong here. We are both a bit similar damage-wise. Alright, so that would be it from the pregame, and now let's jump to the gameplay. As you can see, this guy is 60% win rate, their bot lane is 80% win rate. I'm starting Sapphire Crystal because I want to rush the Lost Chapter and get my Liandry's as soon as possible. Why I can do it is because Aurelion is not as a threatening champion in the early game. I will show you something. Just Tommy, greetings for you, bro. Take care. It happens to everyone. Let's go forward. Okay, so now gameplay itself. When you're playing Malzahar, you wanna focus on consistent farming till the level 6. From the level 6, once you get your Lost Chapter, you will get so much push potential that you can play for roam timers. You can keep the priority for your team. Most importantly, always know where the enemy jungler is, so you can make sure that you will be a consistent laner, because you cannot push without knowing that, okay? Usually the gameplay for Malzahar from the level 6 will be like you constantly push and close in a nutshell your enemy laner, so you just soak so much advantage by pushing on them all the time, yeah? So the beginning is, when you go especially Sapphire Crystal, is you purely focus on getting the CS, and from time to time you will press the E on the Aurelion Soul to get a mana flow band proc on the guy, okay? That's how it be. I missed so many minions, so I just scream kurwa. But right now it's all about just getting consistent with the CS. You have to check where the enemy jungler started, guys, to make sure that nothing bad will happen. So look, me and the Aurelion, we are positioning ourselves all the time vertically opposite, which is the safest, like this, yeah? Level 2 is a first minion of the second wave, you need to always remember it. Both players are fighting for the priority. For the wave priority, so right now we are both trimming the wave. As you see, I do EW here. Viego is on the Raptors right now, so he started red buff this game. Because my listen is on the Wolves. Look, I'm gonna walk and put an early ward in between the wave to avoid any kind of level 3 gank by Viego, plus my wave is connected closer to the opponent's side. So I had to make sure that I will be consistent. Really good mark that you can play for is the 330. That's the spawn of the Scuttler. So what you will do usually for that is you wanna start pushing harder before the Scuttler spawn to keep up with the consistency. Why I am hovering to the left is because I know Viego right now is puffing to the Wolves because he started the top lane. So far all about the CS. I'm highly aware what is my jungler up to synergize with him, yeah? We are keeping the prio. Look, I'm not spamming my Q. I'm not spamming my Q because it's the most deadly mana spell, mana hungry spell. You don't wanna spam it. And now I'm a bit careful because what? It's 330 timer. I don't know where is Viego around this area. Where is my mouse, right? Because he should be here. So I'm just still hovering to the left and being careful. Aurelion is getting to push on me. That's totally okay. Now I'm focusing on trimming the wave. This Q was really bad because I wanted to Q all of the minions on the rangeds, but I didn't manage to do it. So right now the goal is I want to keep Aurelion on the lane, so I'm focusing highly on trimming the wave. Now it's not about the kill battle. The battle is about keeping him on the lane and being efficient with CS. Viego was supposed to be bot lane. He is. There is no need to force on the lane. Lee Sin helps me shove a little bit, which gives me a really good pressure. So right now, since Aurelion is low mana, I'm implementing the pressure because I assume he will recall and TP. Now at this point, you need to check where is ward on the center so we can see after the wave crashes what is Aurelion gonna be up to. Since the cannon is full health under the turret, I can recall and set up an efficient reset before Aurelion comes back. I depped the Dark Seal here. Do I remember? Do I depped it? Yes, I hesitated a bit. I depped the Dark Seal. And now look, you see, I pushed the big wave thanks to the Lee Sin, and now I'm checking if I can keep my TP if I can keep my TP if the wave is good. Wave is good because the wave right now connected closer to the opponent's side, so it's bouncing back into me right now. So right now Aurelion needs to TP, and that gives me the TP advantage. I have this ward because now he will build up the slow push into me, and I will be able to track what he's up to after he crashes the wave. So we ward the lane when we are about to lose the wave control or when opponent will be first on the lane. This is the perfect example. Now you look, I'm like eyeing on him and stuff, but number one goal here is you wanna fin the wave. You finning the wave. Keep the prio. And look, I constantly see it because of this ward, which is crazy amazing. Right now, once you get your lost chapter, you can be really efficient with playing full priority. Full priority means perma pushing, but you just need to be careful of enemy jungler. Make sure you have a vision. I got in the R. By the way, the main combo on the wave crash is E, Q, W. If you press E and Q before W, you will get the maximum number of voidlings. For each spell you use, you will get one voidling. So EQW, if you have a lot of mana or you got a lost chapter and you want to one-shot the wave, you will do EQW. That's it. Lee Sin wants to look for a gank. Look, this Aurelion is trying to trim the wave. Right now, I would normally just focus on trimming, but I was hoping that I can get into his my R range to set up a kill. But generally, all is fine. We are 60 CS at the 6 minute. And now look, he's gone somewhere. Okay, just crash. When you get lost chapter, you can one-shot the wave and start the recall a bit sooner. Here, sadly, my poison didn't go through, so the wave got a bit worse, as you see, right? Because generally, if you do EQW, the wave will usually push on its own, so you don't have to worry. This Viego tries to pull the wave, but I know the next wave is only here, so he would still need to pull it for a while. The further the wave from the lane, the more time you have to arrive. So I luckily then got punished. And always pay attention what is your jungler up to. My jungler wants the dragon. I will right now start pushing and play for a priority along with him. You need to actively think, what is my team up to? Who is strong in my team? All of it is essentially important. Look, I do EQW, the Chopin combo. That's what I call Chopin combo, Chopin combo. EQW, like a pianist, you know, like a pianist, EQW. Aurelion goes to the river. I'm trying to hover it in a moment, but I had to outpush the wave properly first. And now the waves on the mid are gonna meet on the center. That's what we call handshake. So there is no rush. Yeah, and here I got picked and I fucked up. I agree, I totally fucked up. I thought it's only Blitzcrank. I didn't see my listen. We got in a kill here. We would gotten a kill here. So that was the worst play probably from the game. If you wonder what's the plan, keep on staying efficient. If you can, implement the pressure, mana out sustain opponent. Here, I see that Viego is coming, so I was preparing to TP back, to TP to the bot lane, but they got the play right, so we keep up with the consistency. In many games, you will be able to out-sustain opponent and they won't have such a good wave clear like Aurelion has. So when you play against someone that doesn't have a good wave clear, your goal is usually you do Chopin combo on the wave, and then you constantly push on them. So you soak so much advantage, and meanwhile, along with it, you wanna encourage your jungler to get a Herald or Dragon when you have this full prio. Right now I try to stop Aurelion's soul, expanding the Fog of War on the lane, and seeing what they are up to stop their potential recall is insanely important, because look what I'm about to start doing right now. This guy is using mana, and I'm perma-crashing at him. But since I crashed so fast the wave right now, and the next wave is only here, I'm gonna reset and sneak a fast recall into the lane. So the sooner you crash the wave, the further the next incoming wave from the lane, preferably cannon, the more time you have to come back to the lane. So that's what I did. I did tempo reset for my Fiendish Codex, and I'm aiming to get a Liandry's pretty soon. Look, now Aurelion did a tempo mistake because now I will crash the wave and I have a ROM timer over him. That's a master D1 player, 60% win rate. He gave me ROM timer, so now I'm gonna crash the wave, and look what I'm doing. I'm encouraging to go Herald. Why? Because we can. Because I have a priority over him. So it's not like you have to be crazy killer. You need to have the right things in your mind and ask yourself, what can you do on the map with your team? The biggest problem for people who play Malzahar is that they die too often. Malzahar is insanely vulnerable to the assassins, so you have to be really careful and try. You need to take really safe pathings when you play against assassins, yeah? Or sometimes even rush arm seekers. Here is a bit easier, but look, we got in the Herald. What's the plan, Mojo? Chopin combo, and then you again wanna look for a reset or play with a team. One of these. I have soon Liandry's, so I will check it probably in the shop and do the math. And now, look, wave is gonna meet on the center. Aurelion can roam to the bot lane right now. He can roam to the bot lane. So I'm getting Liandry's and I tryna cover for them. Which, this play is questionable. Because I wanted to give them resources here. We TP'd, I wanted to give the resources to help them, to avoid them to get off and defend the turret. But the price for it is that I will lose the wave mid. And now, if I puff, If I path like this, I'm dead. Because Viego will cross on me, along with Aurelion, I'm dead. So I need to go with the most defensive pathing like that to the lane. Minus of it, I lost lane consistency. Plus of it, I prevented the potential dive, and the turret on the bot lane stayed alive in the end. Was it worth? For my own personal advantage, not. But we kept the turret. So if my bot lane was willing to give the turret, I didn't have to TP. If they didn't want to suicide. If they were like eager to stay and overstay and die, then I should have TP'd. So we can debate about this, what I did. But what was good, we defended the bot one turret. That's one thing. But I lost one full wave. Look, I have Leandris. Aurelion doesn't have a item yet. Why? Because he doesn't have a futures market, my friend. He doesn't have a futures market. Or does he? I'm not sure. And now again, shop and combo. And we need to see what we'll be doing. Now, what is the correct play? Mordekaiser and Lee Sin should stop overcommitting on the top lane. They should right now go back and recall. This turret on the tier 2 can wait. Aurelion is roaming and I cannot match it. I cannot just simply match it and go there. The correct play was we reset on the top lane and then we're gonna prepare to play for a dragon, guys. Play for objectives. What's the next goal of the map? Next goal of the map is playing for a dragon. Yeah? So that's the problem. They overcommitted. I couldn't really match the roam timer of the Aurelion, which is way more mobile champion than I am. And my players were way lower. So when we are stomping that hard, no need to overcommit. Just go dragon, we get a dragon, and we secure the soul point pretty soon. So right now, what's your goal? You need to ask yourself on the map, and you wanna encourage your team. As I did, I typed prepare dragon. We play dragon now, guys. Yeah, and here I wanted to help between the waves on the mid lane, between them, to help to make a vision with my Blitzcrank. But the problem is, I realized my Blitzcrank doesn't have a wards yet. So that's it. I came back to the mid lane, I ulted this Aurelion, we killed him. Look, I just pressed shop and combo on the lane, it's already dead. And I cannot sadly help them because I need to reset. This game I went sorcery boots because they don't have that much magic resist yet in this game. And I'm almost the only AP target, AP damage in this game. I mean, Mordekaiser is AP damage as well, but opponents are quite squishy in this game phase if you look at it, right? So flat magic penetration from the sorcerer boots can be quite banger, especially when I have a comet along with it. If you ask me, what's the next goal of the map? Well, you're gonna stay efficient, and then you guys will be playing in 2 minutes from now for a Herald with the team. I'm just checking a bit in between the waves. As you see, again, in between the waves, I sneaked really fast to the river to get a Scuttler, and then I will be in time to receive the wave anyway. So I'm really efficiently using the time whenever I kill the wave to in between do something. Can be recall, can be get camp, put wards somewhere, you know. Now what I said I don't like is that my bot lane is on the bottom lane, so I told them soon it's time to go mid lane because I would like to be on the bottom lane side lane with my TP, Yuana, in the mid game, because then you have teleport most far away from the Herald play. So if let's say someone with the TP, without the TP would go on the bottom lane, you will have this teleport to teleport for a Herald fight when this other opposite laner without the TP wouldn't have this kind of ability, right? So that's what I mean. So now I was communicating to my duo partner Tommy that soon we should switch to the mid and I should go bot lane so we can look for a potential Herald play. And they overstayed on the bottom lane and look what will be happening, yeah? You see? That was just not necessary, that was too much. I tried to cover this play and from what I remember I will die here, guys. From what I remember I will die for this play. I had to add this guy so they can at least run away. And if you ask me, was it worth it? Well, for my personal advantage, it wasn't. I was trying to cover the play with my team. And the only good thing is that Zaya was 350 gold. And I was 150 gold shutdown. So, yeah, look, she's 300, I was 150, you see? So, it's better to trade me than the Zaya. But generally, I could as well let them die. But the problem was, after Aurelion, they should just switch with me, because no one cares about tier 1 fucking turret bot lane at fucking 15 minutes. No one. No one. They should go mid, prepare for a Herald. And now, I would normally go with the bottom lane, with teleport, to be ready for a Herald play on the bottom lane. Since I don't have TP, but 2 players on the enemy team died, I will just outpush 1 more wave, then I will go straight to the Herald to back up for my team. If I had TP, I could go fully commit for the tier 1 turret bot lane. That's the thought process here. But look, I do Chopin combo, then I go to the Herald. And look, I'm not going further. I just wanna back up for them to be a bit more proactive, just in case if something will happen here. I miss my Q silence, but happens, right? Luckily, Draven didn't have a gold from the passive. And now what's the play, Moyo? In the 1 minute 40 seconds, you will have a dragon play. So now we wanna play around the dragon. Until this time, we should just pressure the side lane and chillax. Chillax here, make a pressure side lane, make sure your items are on point. Oh, we actually got a pick here, right? Because we are strong and enemy are weaker, we got in a pick. Stay with me because this game is gonna be crazy, man. This game is gonna be crazy. Alright, so now, what I'm gonna do is, in 1 minute we play for a dragon, but until this time, I will just get a turret bot lane. Why I can get a turret bot lane? Because my teammates have this amount of pressure on the mid, which makes this position and this position still safe on the map. But what happened? Again, most common problem on SoloQ, even on Master D1 Elo, they will always overcommit. So which one I communicate? What's the next goal of the map? Dragon. Let's push mid, let's push bot lane. But it doesn't have to be that deep. Just like this. And if we can control the river, it's a free game. So we should be looking for a fight, of course. But you need to know where to look for a fight. We should look for a fight. And there is Viego coming. My friend got tunneled vision. There was a Viego coming. He got fully tunnel vision. But we don't have to do it. We just gotta play for a dragon right now. That's it. Sorry for hitting mic. I let you hear them a bit. So now, where I should be? Well, I'm implementing the pressure on the mid lane. Xayah cannot go there alone because we have no front lane with us. We have no front lane, so it's totally pointless to walk to this river. If we cannot contest the dragon, what we can do is pressure the mid lane. That's it. Not much we can do here. Now after I pushed, I just tryna cover up, but the chances of us getting it are quite low. They got in it, we just helped this guy, fine. Okay, play is over. Sadly, we overcommitted, we didn't get a dragon. I have TP in 10 seconds, so I can play most far away from the Baron right now, right? So I'm right now on the bottom lane, but I see there is a fight. We shouldn't fight in the bot side river because right now the main play is gonna have a place around the Baron area, guys. And now I need to go to them to back up for them, so they won't be able to get mid turret. Mid tier 1 turret and mid tier 2 turret are the most important turrets in the game because they open the most area of our jungle. And so right now, yeah, I just back up for my team. As you see, I'm not going side lane to help them breathe in this play. And generally, if you wonder what's the most correct play right now, so I draw you the line. What's spawning faster? Baron. Okay, so right now we should play pressure mid, pressure bot. Try to control this amount of the box. If you can control it, doesn't mean you have to start the Baron. But what you only need to do is, you just need to play around it. You will clear the vision and you will force opponents to come into you. That's how you can easily win this game. But look, I don't like that they go so far already into the forest, you know? I don't really like that. I'm not a fan of it. Because we should generally just play around the Baron area. I wanna go bot lane, but I need to cover. This is already inconsistent here. This is already too deep. We don't have to do it. We have full Prio. Oh, opponents need to come to us. So yeah, I need to back up, bro. It's a solo queue. If I don't back up for this, you never know what will happen. And it worked. Wow, XBLADEMOJO, you're so fucking pussy defensive. No, bro. Bro, you never know. This game it worked out. Other game it didn't have to, you know? And now look at this, listen. Instead of helping with us, he's just doing Herald top lane. Oi. And yes, soon I see that the Warwick is the bot lane, so we wanna go there in a moment. We get this. I will get blue buff along with it. As you see, I have an Oblivion Orb with me because they have Warwick, they have Janna with a lot of healing, Viego with a lot of healing. So it is really recommended to go for it. We finish our Rayleigh, and now I was considering going full Morello, but then I was like, wait, they have Aurelion ult, they have Viego jump, they have really good go in. So I was like, no. This Oblivion Orb is totally enough with the healing reduction. What I realistically need right now is the Zhonya, the stopwatch. That's my thought process. Why I go mid stride is to cover up for my team, and then from the mid lane, the most tactical play is to mid to bot. Why mid to bot? Because that's the tier 1 that is standing. So when this Mordor is making pressure, we can bounce mid to bot, or he can bounce bot to the mid lane. But right now we focus on opening tier 2 mid or tier 2 bot lane. Why I R instantly is you never know if this Janna would R in a moment or if she would flash away. So what I'm simply trying to do sometimes in the team fights is I'm trying to secure one pick as soon as possible. Which actually didn't seem the greatest in this play, I agree. But we won this fight in the end. As you see, it's a lot of deathmatch, even though it's D1. So now we open the tier 2 bot lane. After this, let's see. I have 1k gold. They are respawning pretty soon, but it's for 4 people on the timer, so getting just a turret here is totally acceptable. If after that we should pass. Don't sweat for inhibs in solo queue, because in many times your teammate doesn't know how to finish the game, so you can actually end up throwing the game because you will power farm opponents by opening the inhib too fast. Right now, the goal of the map is that we're gonna start playing for a Herald, for a Dragon in a 1 minute from now. There is no need at all to fight at this current moment with the current circumstances. Sadly, I had to TP to cover up for a play because there is another crazy fight. But you guys see how much I point out about what is the next objective? Because bro, that's the secret of solo queue. You just play for objective, you let your team know, and you randomly win 60% of the games instead of 50% of the games. I'm not cheating on you. I'm 100% legit with that. Because this is, in other games, that would be inconsistent, you know? This time we won this fight. Okay, so Dragon is in 20 seconds. We cannot finish because Aurelion have a really crazy good wave clear here. So what we will look for... I thought we can kill, but actually, yeah, we couldn't. That was bad play with me when I watched it. So we just trying to get an inhib, but it was too much. I Zhonya'd not the best, actually. And yeah, we overcommitted. If you ask me, was this inhib so important, Mojo? No, bro, it wasn't. It wasn't. Because right now, we're just gonna power farm for 5 minutes Aurelion Soul. And this Aurelion Soul will scale insanely hard. Insanely hard. Look, when you have Rayleigh, you can kite like crazy. Basically, you can kite like crazy when you have a Rayleigh, yeah? So that's what I'm doing. But generally, opening this min heap wasn't that much necessary because 4 minutes, this Aurelion Soul will one-shot the waves and eat so much gold resource right now. After this, so we should have left the mid inhib, recall, prepare for a dragon way sooner. After that, we're gonna play what? You should know already. You know. I'm sure I don't need to say that. You know what's the next goal of the map. Look, I have Mage and now I'm thinking what to buy. I want a Zhonya, so I'm not gonna still stopwatch and get a Arm Seeker. I'm just gonna wait until I can get a fully completed Zhonya. Make sure whenever you come back from the base to check wave state and enemy items. You need to know who is the strongest in your team and who is the strongest in enemy team. Look what I'm typing. Play Baron. because we don't have to fight right now. We just gotta play around Baron again. Sorry, I hit mic again. I'm still not used to this microphone position, but I need to do it. Otherwise I have echo. Do we need to fight Mojo? No, no, no. We don't have to. But okay, it works again. But generally, we should do mid to top lane, you know? Or bot inhib here is acceptable. Why is the bot inhib acceptable? Because this bot inhib is most far away from the Baron, so if we can get it. Look, my team is about to start like fighting there, but we could just go bot inhib, and after that, we can recall and prepare for a Baron. You see? That's it. Get bot inhib, prepare for a Baron. Guys, you wanna see the late game of this game. I promise to you, you wanna see the late game of this game. It's crazy. We should recall. But look, I stopped the recall because we never know what will happen. Blitzcrank got a pick, good, but we still shouldn't overforce mid. We should reset and prepare for the next goal. Because if we died in their base, they will get so much time. Think about it. Every time the mid wave comes, they get like 200, 150 gold from the bot lane, the same. Every mistake you make on open inhib of opponents, they eat so much resources. That's how you usually throw the game. When they have a good wave clear, and they do have good wave clear. Why we can start it is because the bot lane push is so big because of the inhib, open inhib in their team, that we can go for the Baron right now. Efficient reset. What's the next goal of the map if you wonder? That will be we go mid lane, and after we go mid lane, we bounce back to the top lane to open this turret when they're gonna be busy receiving the mid wave and bot wave. That's the most correct play in properly, most consistently finishing this game. Look, I have Zonya, you see? I generally would love to have Void Staff instead of the Oblivion Orb, but why I cannot do it is because we have almost no heal reduction in the team. And generally, look, now I see that puffing bot lane was cringe, so we go top. And now we still need to reach there. We shouldn't fight in the jungle. That's the most cringe thing we can do, because if you think about it, now we just keep up with the pressure on the Baron buff here, right? And then in like 20 seconds from now, someone will need to def this, and someone will need to def this. That's the moment we open the tier 3 top lane. Yeah, I had to TP. I thought I had to TP to the topside flank. And look, you see? If we didn't fight, that was so easy, man. If we just didn't fight here, that was so easy. Because we would just pressure top lane and they would have to back up for the bot and mid. And I typed too early, because it was too early, sadly. And this is with the problem what I mean. Aurelion is turbo farming with his champion, scaling to the moon on the bot lane, mid lane, and we lost our tempo. We are losing our tempo. We are falling behind. Right now, the goal of the map, 40 seconds for the soul point. If we cannot finish properly, we should play for the soul point right now. Here we actually got in a pick. I R instantly Y to make sure she won't R, to make sure she won't flash by any chance. My R is only 40 seconds cooldown. I got scared. I thought Warwick will R on me. And I didn't expect him to grab the Draven, actually, you know? Because we could have tried to kill him. But now, same scenario. We don't have to fight here. We can just go back. We can play around the dragon. And after the dragon, we secure the soul, which should be 100% ours. And after this, the struggle of how to finish this game will start again. Usually in the team fights, what I'm doing is I'm trying to provide a lot of utility with my silence. I position myself to kite. Okay, you need to always have a great position. So usually you wanna let your teammates be a front lane for you, which allows you to basically not get the front lane damage, right? So you wanna use the Mordekaiser and the Lee Sin and provide from the back most utility. I will often R the first target to one-shot them as soon as possible. So for example, if Viego goes on my Xayah, I will often alt the Viego to take him down and peel for my Xayah. Instead, let's say flashing for a Draven, because then I die. And I force my teammates to follow. But when I force them to follow, someone can go on my Xayah. If you wonder what's the next goal of the map, it's a Baron. I know it's getting boring, but stay with me. Because this game will still take a while, you know? And look, now, when this bot is coming, we could try to siege something, but yeah, actually Warwick got picked. Why R? Because this guy can R after us. So I didn't want to risk. Can R away, you know? Mm-hmm. And now this is enough. We go bot Inhib and we prepare in 2 minutes for a Baron. But the fight shouldn't happen here. Watch this. Watch this. But like, this was so pointless to fight there. We just go bot Inhib and in 2 minutes we can have a Inhib. Or we don't have to open the Inhib and just reset for a Baron if we don't want to free farm them. Watch this. This is how you kite like a ADC with Malzahar. You need to always position your Q to the point that they will walk into it. Here I misplayed. But look, you need to always like kite with your Q. If you land a good kiting Qs like that, they can't ever reach to you. And Voidlings will one-shot them. You see? I R just in case, because he could R me. And look again, Q in front, so you zone them. But I could play a bit better here. And look again, I miss my Q sadly, but generally you just kite around the eye, like Q under, boom, dead. And here I should have prolonged the Q. I thought I can kill him, but actually I couldn't. If I kited him further bot side, he wouldn't kill me. I can promise you, I would actually gotten him. But this is how much you can do with Malzahar 1v4 basically, yeah? Now, what we're gonna play for is the Baron. So let's speed up a bit. So now, again, Baron area, and which wanna finish. I TP'd because, you know, Warwick was on the top lane, so I covered killing the Warwick here with my team. And now we should go mid together, then get a Baron, because we are losing so much of the map. So instead of just losing so much takedowns, we can just turn on them. It's 5v4, so we can just turn, outpush the mid lane, and then go a Baron. And that would be the most proper play. And here, I made a different decision than my team wanted. I didn't adapt. Because I had the expectations of them doing what I consider as a good option here, but they didn't wanna. And I still consider that it was good. I don't have ego. If you guys wanna disagree, sure. But to me, we could just cross, outpush the mid lane, and then we still had a plenty of time to go for it. This is the first time I typed. This Mordekaiser made me angry, by the way. And that's how I lost my Mage. And now again, what's the next goal of the map? Dragon. We sadly cannot finish yet. So right now opponents gotten a bit more of a pressure. So we should now, the best play to contest this dragon, you know, the best play to contest this dragon is that we push mid, and from the mid we're gonna bounce back here, which is the easiest to make a vision. We don't have to face check this. No. Don't face check this. Push mid, and then we can make a vision like this, which is most consistent. Don't worry, this video is not 1 hour. Like 15 minutes and we are done with you becoming a greatest Malzahar player in your friends group. Now we made the pressure mid. We are looking for a pick on around the Baron. Look, I are Viego to peel for my Xayah for a moment, yeah? So she could stay alive. Sadly, she died, but we got in the Viego. That's what I mean. Because you don't often will be able to reach everyone because they are too long range. Now why we can go and threaten the mid is because at the moment they commit for our Elder, we'll be able to get their Nexus turrets. So even if the Draven would try to get it, honestly, I don't see a chance that he can do it, you know? I mean, he can do it, but we will get the base. And now we shouldn't go on him. That was so fucking troll. That was so troll. Because before he would walk to us, we would gotten already 2 turrets, you know? Probably before the Aurelion. Because we could turn in a moment on him, you know? He had to come to us, we didn't have to come to him. He had to come to us, we didn't come to him. And that would be a game probably here. That's what I didn't like. I didn't like this perspective, you know? But this game is close, so it's understandable that people are gonna make mistakes. But man, we would gotten so much more time to get the turrets or something, you know? So for me, here, the going on the Draven that fast wasn't the greatest. And now we die here. And it's open Inhib, but can we finish? No. Bro, we cannot finish. What do you mean? We cannot finish. Why? Because the Aurelion is gonna power farm now. And yeah, as you see, I another time I have a different perspective of the game. But please, feel free to share your thought process. Let's speed up. Our team is doing Elder. And we secured the Elder. Now I sold my Magi because it was on the low stacks. And I got in Void Staff. And I really need to go on the Void Staff. If you see their items, they have a lot of magic resist. I bought the potion. And now what's the goal of the map? We now mid. And then we wanna get the top Inhib. But oh no, we actually have Elder. So I remember that we wanted to force a fight against them. But then we saw, oh my god, how we can win against this Aurelion, you know? This guy has AoE and scaling to the moon. So that's when it was getting more spicy, let's say here, you know? And why is my fucking front lane behind me? Yeah, and I don't know, my Mordekaiser doesn't wanna be more in front. But now I realized, okay. Now I realized I was a bit delusional, and I just understood how strong Aurelion is. And that was the moment I thought we would fucking lose this game. I was like, oh my god, we can't commit to their base, you know? And I didn't press Zonia, so I shouldn't fucking scream. I played it so bad. And I didn't know that well Aurelion at this point, you know? So instead of we playing for a Dragon Baron fight, which was the most accurate play, I fucked up. I agree. I don't have ego to say it. I fucked up. We should have kept them around this area with the mid push, with the top push. And when the mid and the bottom would come, we should have gotten the Baron right now. And I fucked up. I can admit that. Because now we would gotten the Baron and then we would try to pressure them again. So that's on me. 5th death of the game at the 40 minute. This Janna and Draven are 80% win rate, by the way. Okay, I need some water or something. Look, I'm thinking what to buy. I wanna really sell the Morello, bro. But I see they have so much healing that I'm just afraid. Because Thornmail of our Mordekaiser is simply not enough. Right now, how are we gonna finish this game? Well, the best would be that we force opponents to contest any kind of objective, but we shouldn't keep on opening the inhibs that much. If we are about to open the inhib, it would be, let's say, around the time when the Elder is spawning. So if they would want to contest the Elder, the time is gonna be ticking for them. The game is gonna finish pretty soon, stay with me. Usually in the team fights, as you see, I'm playing around, peeking with the team, making pressure, making opponents come to us, yeah? I'm not like really wide open to the enemies. I'm always trying to position myself to the point that I can help with the soonest person that goes in on us. Remember, the main combo is the Chopin combo, EQW in most plays. Unless you don't have time to cast the Q or W. E or Q. Then you need to R instantly, because sometimes before you cast E and Q, they will flash away. Now we are keeping mid and bot pressure, as you see. And we need to be insanely careful of the Aurelion. It's 41 minutes into the game. Yeah, and I felt like I need to. If we don't kill Aurelion, we won't win. But the thing is, I just cannot casually flash on this guy because I will die like a worm. And if we overcommit on their back lane, Xayah will die. So Blitzcrank needs to peel with her, or I need to peel the Xayah if Blitzcrank would go heavy. Look, we're trying to open the inhibs, and we shouldn't fight here. We just want to open the inhibs and play for the Elder again. Because the game is too dangerous to force it on the mid lane right now. Look, we are opening it step by step. Good, and now we can go Elder. Or generally, we shouldn't fight. We should just continue to push, but we need to wait for them to go in. We shouldn't be the one to go in. Oh my god, and then I was like, this is scary. I ulted, but sadly... No, it wasn't bad ult. It wasn't bad ult. Because I got a pick as soon as possible. There was someone, because the sooner we get in the 40 minutes someone taken down, we have a chance of winning. Yeah, look, I'm providing utility all the time to the team. And now we need to be grouped together. Warwick is dead. And here I got knocked and I die, I guess. Yeah, I Zhonya's and I die for this. I fucked up. It was close. A lot of things happen in this team fight, as you see. But our team position as a team could be better. And I fucked up in the end with my Zhonya and positioning too deep. But you as a Malzahar, you have an insane value as long as you will keep up with the good position. Yeah? The good position is so golden. And yeah, look, and we're so close to win, right? We got in peak and we could even play slower after we killed someone because soon the mid and the bottom waves would come. And that's when we could kill the opponents. And now everyone dies, as you see. Okay, so let's show you what will happen after this, yeah? They have opening hips. Elder is taken by opponents because Aurelion Sol one-shots the Elder. And now we're just gonna play around the Baron again. It's a bit hard, bro. It's really rough game. I can tell you Aurelion in the late game was doing a lot of good stuff and I actually wasn't ready to play that well against him. But a lot is about positioning in your teamfights. If you can keep up the distance and play to your spell range properly, bro, you will be like a kiting god on Malzahar. Here Warwick fucked up, so we killed him. And now again, we outpush the mid lane. We have 40 seconds timer and here I found the Aurelion Soul. Let me see. Let's see this one more time. So look, now we outpush the mid and we would generally look to threaten. And I do the blue trinket and I found this guy. Boom. And we won here. We won. Because that was the final boss. Guys, do you think I could play better in the team fights? Of course. Of course, I know that. But you know, you're watching the player who you sometimes have a breaks of 2 weeks of not playing the game because he's coaching full time, right? He's coaching, I'm coaching full time, I'm creating content. So to me, gaming is something I really love in League of Legends, but I highly prioritize my students right now. But even though, you know, I don't play that much, you could see that it was quite consistent performance, right? Okay, don't mind this, man. But we won. We won this game. And that's how you play macro game as a control mage. You get to know how to play laning phase, how to fight a lot with in team fights, right? So this is how it is. This is how I would do it. As a conclusion, you as a Malzahar in the early game, stay efficient till level 6. Consider having priority for a Scuttler for your jungler if you can. Once you get your Lost Chapter, you want to soak so much advantage out of your opponent and have a priority for a Dragon or Herald and curate your team. Make sure you know with who you can play potentially. After, in the mid game, you want to go on the side lane with TP. And if this TP, you want to be ready to TP for any kind of objective most far away from you. In the mid game, always ask yourself what is the next objective spawning so you can play for it and secure the ground of it. You guys don't have to force. Progress the map. Make opponents come to you. Yeah? And that's how we won this game, guys. If you like the video, please subscribe. I will really appreciate if you could support me, because I wanna become a great YouTuber with educational content. And if you're wondering, if you wanna see more videos of a Malzahar, any kind of coachings, all roles, my Patreon is the best choice for only for Hero. So you can see how the rank 1 MetaFi coach actually coaches people. Anyway, thank you. Have a great day. Let me know in comments if you liked the video. See ya.
I want to take a second to recommend working with XBLADEMOJO, who has been a terrific coach.
I've worked with a lot of coaches over the years. XBLADE is far and away one of the best.
Thanks for teaching me so much more.